In this video, we're going to talk about the basic roof tools. There are two ways you can build roofs. You can use your automatic build roof tool or your manual roof planes. If we go up here to the Build drop-down menu and go down to the Roof Tools parent tool, you'll see the automatic build roof tool here and the roof plane tool. We'll start with the automatic build roof tool. This tool does two things. It sets up the defaults for how the roof will build, for instance, for the pitch and for the overhangs. If I simply change the pitch here and then click OK, it's not going to build the roof. I'll go back up here to the toolbar and we'll find the same Roof Tools parent tool. We'll go back to that Build Roof tool. When I made the change to the pitch, it simply changed the defaults. To build the roof, I'll click on Build Roof Planes and go ahead and click OK. By default, the roof tool will build a hip roof plane on each of the exterior perimeter walls. But the automatic build roof tool gets its information from two other places. The first is each room has directions for the roof tool. In my floor plan view, if I select this garage and use my Open Object tool, I'll go to the Structure panel here. If I uncheck the box here for Roof over this room, and then click OK, I'll go back to that automatic build roof tool. This time, I'll select Build Roofs, but I'll also click on the button for Auto Rebuild Roofs. This will automatically regenerate the roof whenever I make a change in my plan. Because I've removed the roof over this room, you'll notice there is no roof built over the garage. The height that the roof builds is also determined by the individual room. The ceiling height that is set in the room determines the roof's baseline height. For instance, in this one room, if I go to the Structure panel and raise the ceiling height to 144 inches and put a check mark in that box for Roof over this room, then click OK, you can see that the roof planes have built higher on the garage than it did on the rest of the house. I'll go ahead and take that back to the default ceiling height. The third place that the automatic build roof tool gets its instructions is from each wall that the roof planes are bearing on. For instance, here in the camera view, I'll select the front garage wall. Then I'll go to my Open Object tool to open the Wall Specification dialog. In the Wall Specification dialog, we'll go to the Roof panel. Here we have instructions for how the roof plane that bears on this wall will build. I'll make this a full gable wall. When I click OK, you can see that that is now built as a full gable wall. There's a quicker way to do this. Chief has given us a quick tool in our Edit toolbar. When I select this wall, I'll go down here to the Edit toolbar at the bottom of my screen and click on Change to Gable Wall. When I click on that, you'll see that the wall will build as a gable wall, and the tool that I've clicked on is now the Change to Hip wall. If I click on this Change to Hip wall, it'll change it back, and the tool again is a Change to Gable wall. You also have additional instructions in each of the walls. Here in the floor plan view, I'll select both of these side walls by selecting one, holding down my Shift key and selecting the opposing wall. Then I'll use my Open Object tool to open the Wall Specification dialog and again go to the Roof panel. Here I want to build a gambrel style roof, so I'll need an upper and a lower pitch. I'll click on the button for upper pitch. The lower pitch, where it starts at the wall, I want to be a nice steep pitch. I'll use 18 and 12. Then the upper pitch, where it flattens out, I'll use 4 and 12. But then I'll need to determine where this change will happen. You can set the change to happen at a specific height, or you can come in from the baseline. The baseline of a roof is along the outside edge of the wall that the roof plane bears on. So I'll come in 5 feet from the baseline to where I want the pitch to change. When I click OK, we can see now that I've built a gambrel roof. If you want to reset the roof directives in all of the walls back to the default settings, go up to the Edit drop-down menu to Reset to Defaults, and selecting all floors and then clicking on the box for roof directives in the walls. This will reset them back to their default. You can also build roofs manually. I'll remove all of the roof planes by again going to my Roof Tools parent tool and selecting Delete Roof Planes. I'll get a message box that tells me it cannot delete the roof planes while the automatic rebuild roofs is turned on. So we'll turn that off by clicking on Yes. Now we'll build some manual roof planes. I'll go back to my Roof Tools parent tool and select the Roof Plane tool. To draw a roof plane, the first step is to draw the baseline of your roof plane. Again, the baseline is along the outside edge of the wall that the roof plane will bear on. Once I've drawn the baseline, I'll let go of my mouse button, but the roof tool is still active. Then I'll move in the upslope direction and left click where I want to stop. As you can see in my camera view, I've drawn one simple roof plane. The pitch of the roof plane is following the defaults set up in the Automatic Build Roof tool. I'll activate my floor plan view and then go ahead and draw two more roof planes. I'll click and drag the baseline along this wall, let go of my mouse key, and then pull it in the upslope direction and click again where I want to stop. Then I'll make another one along this wall. Once you have your roof planes drawn, you can join the edges in hips, valleys, and ridges. I'll select this edge of this roof plane, use my Join Roof Planes tool, and then click on this edge, which will form a hip in this corner. You can also do this in your camera view. I want to join these two edges as a hip, so I'll select this edge, make it active, which is indicated by the square edit handle being larger than the square edit handles on the other three edges. Activate that edge, click on that Join Roof Plane tool, and then click on the opposing edge of the opposing roof line. Again, that will form a hip. Then you can form a ridge, again by selecting and activating the edge that will join another roof plane as a ridge. Click on my Join Roof Planes tool, and then click on the opposing roof plane. That will form my ridge perfectly, as you can see here in my floor plan view. Now obviously I'll need to close up this hole in my roof. So here in my floor plan view, I'll simply select this roof plane, pull it so it continues up all the way to the ridge, snap to the ridge when I see that red X snap indicator, and release. That will close up the hole in the roof plane. I'll draw one more roof plane along this edge of this wall. Let go of my mouse button, move in the upslope direction, and again click where I want to stop. The Join Roof Plane tool will also form a valley. I'll select this roof plane, activate this edge, Join Roof Planes, and click on this edge. That will form a valley for my roof. Now you'll notice here in my camera view that as soon as I have created a roof plane on part of this garage, the roof plane that came up and over the top of this wall has automatically generated an attic wall. Chief will generate an attic wall where there is space between the top of a wall at the ceiling height and the roof plane that is built over the top of it. So if I select this roof plane and form a gable end by dragging this right over the top of the wall, you can see again that it has generated an automatic attic wall. I'll go back to my roof tools, create one more roof plane along this wall, join these two edges as a ridge, and again create the overhang by dragging this edit handle right over the wall. As I drag this edit handle over the wall, I'll get temporary dimensions. I can use these dimensions to determine the exact length I want my overhang. If I click on that dimension number and then type in the distance that I want and hit enter, it'll bring that roof edge back to 12 inches overhang. Then I'll select this one, drag this edge edit handle right to the end point of the other roof plane, indicated by the red snap indicator. And you'll notice again in my camera view that now because the roof planes come over this wall completely, the automatically generated attic wall is cut off and simply fills the space between the top of the wall at the ceiling height and the space above it. Back in my floor plan view, I'll need to make a couple more edits to finish my roof. I'll go ahead and fill the window with the building here on the right side of my screen by clicking on Fill Window with the Building. I want this roof plane to continue over and form a gable across part of this wall, only from here to here. So I'll click and drag this edge till I have a 90-degree angle, and again I'll use my temporary dimensions. This time I'll use them in a little bit different way. I'll click on the dimension to the wall and I'll type -18 inches. That will take this line to 0, which is the outside edge of this wall, and then past it for the -18 inches. Then I'll simply select this roof plane, drag it right over the edge, and snap it again right to the end point snap indicator at the end of the ridge. Back in my camera view, you can see that we still have a little work to do to close up the roof. So I'll select this roof plane and I'll drag this corner up to close up the hole. But now I have these roof planes that come over the top of this roof plane. So I'll simply edit this roof plane by using my break line tool. I'll put one break here where this valley meets the fascia. Then I'll click on my break line tool again and break it along this edge. Now when I select this edge and drag it up to the peak, it'll form two corners, one at the fascia and one here at the ridge. My roof planes are now complete, and I have a partial gable on this back wall. There are many other ways you can create and customize roof planes. If we go back to the Roof Tools parent tool and select the Build Roof tool, and go down here to the Roof Styles panel, if you click on any one of these roof styles, it'll bring up the Help database where it explains exactly how to build that roof using the automatic roof tools and editing existing roof planes. Other options for creating and editing roof planes are discussed in additional online training videos and knowledge base articles that can be found on the Chief Architect website.